What's up? I'm having a good time. We got this thing alive. Problem is, ran into some problems today. You know, probably about 9 years ago, I knew the motor was hurt. I have a couple possibilities of what I think it is. I think it's in the mains. But we're going to continue on. Didn't have spark. Relocated all this stuff from the inside of the car because it was really stupid. I had a mindset like 20 years ago of some stuff which was really irrelevant. Relocated some stuff, tried to clean up everything, then didn't have spark. Had to completely tear apart my wiring because it worked the last time it was in the car. So at this point, what happened was I built this motor. I mean, I literally built this motor like, we're coming up on probably 22 years, my guess is. Worked the machine shop, bored and hauled the block, line bored it, did all kinds of stuff. Actually ground the crank on off hours. Didn't offset stroke it or nothing. It's just stock stroke 455, 60 over, 468 at the end of the day. Stupid amount of porting. Sleeves in the push rod holes, sleeves in the set of GA castings, because it's what I had. And bolt holes, push rods, sleeved, etc., etc. Z-Spar epoxy. Just kind of excited. I had a tunnel ram on this car for many years. I thought that's what I wanted to go with it. Just didn't seem feasible, so the thought is I'm going to keep the same short block type of deal, or same motor, and I'm going to put an FI Tech on it. Possibly run E85, not sure yet. One problem that arose is 9 years ago when I parked the car. I think I ballooned the converter, which took up thrust end play. And I think I'm actually taking the thrust bearing out as we speak. Just because I'm watching the oil pressure do what it does based on the temp. And just coming from the machine shop world, I think I have an idea as to what happened and what's going on. So we'll start out as a very tiring and process. Put together because I didn't know where the timing was at. I don't have the fuel that I want. I don't like the compression that the motor's at. I think I can still live with the compression that it's at, but there's a lot of things I can change. But I think at the end of the day, which might be next year, probably won't be able to drive the car this year, but I'm definitely going to change a lot of things up. Been doing a lot of one-off little, items. It's really kind of not seen at this point. Yeah, even still, I'm just going to continue on. Lots of stuff in the interior to make it correct. Doing stock shifter. I want this car to be kind of a turnkey type deal, to where it's like an OEM car. You literally get in the thing and you turn the key. You don't have to babysit no gauges, Once upon a time, that was a thing that I had this thing just full of gauges to where the point it's just looked like a look like a plane cockpit type deal. I want it simple, clean, complete. I've gotten some stuff on the car that had been sitting here forever. I got the rear spoiler mounted, or actually painted, cleared, mounted perfectly, I might add. Oh, excuse me. And I haven't buffed it yet, but that'll soon to become later. Thank you, Susie. My wife did that etch on this back window. This back window was sitting at the side of this back window, along with all the glass, all the interior, was sat outside with a tarp on it for, I don't know, 3-4 years, because I had a 72 Cutlass that I parted out. So what better way when you're sitting in the apartment when it's a rainy day to do something cool? So I had this sticker years ago, so I made a stencil, and she etched it, and that's been there forever. So at this point, I'm just going to continue on with the car, do a lot of correction on little items that I never had, repops, rear seat headrest. I never had those. Well, I did at one time, but they burnt in a fire. Replaced them recently, dyed them, put the lock plates on, got all this repop stuff. Console brackets, correct shifter, stock shifter, but the stock shifter is going to be, I have a gate that I'm working on that'll turn a stock shifter in a slapstick, one gear at a time. It's like your ratchet shifter type deal. So it's kind of like best of both worlds. Look clean, stock, but you still have the performance in it as well. Wanted to put a dual gate in it, but could not afford that, because once I was committed to stock center shift stuff, yeah, this stuff is a small fortune, type of thing. So started out, this car, I just built it 17 years ago probably. I mean, all the years just kind of blur at one time or another. So I'm just, all the stuff that I can do now for it, I'm doing. I have a brand new tank back there, which is FI Tech stuff. Lots and lots of stuff to throw on this thing. But it was an unfortunate event today. I can watch the oil pressure very carefully to verify some thoughts that I had roughly 8 to 10 years ago. But even though at the end of the day I think the motor is going to have to come out, I'm going to go ahead and continue with all the upgrades that I have plans for. So that being said, I've got it turnkey. I got it timed where I think I don't have the fuel that I want, but it's a good feeling to hear it and know that she's alive and it has hope. So it has a fairly radical cam. Not radical in the spec wise, but knowing what it is back in the day, I mean, that thing just thumps. Basically, all it is it's a shelf cam. It's a Comp 305. It's 540 lift straight across with I don't remember what it was. Center lines, I think, on a 106. But man, oh man, she thumps. So the thought is, later on, we're going to pull, when everything's done, ready to go, all this injection shit, built that carburetor for it, don't need it now. New tank, all the injection shit. This thing's going to thump, and I'm going to tell you right now, this thing's going to primo. Some small issues, but man, I'll tell you what, I cannot wait. LED dash backlit blue gauges on the way to complete that, and we should be good. So there you have it. Olds is alive. Not the way I'd completely want it, but there's still potential. Unhook the fuel pump here. Yeah. So yeah, probably further build that carburetor. Do lots and lots of stuff that I do, thingy, whatever. But that should be a badass carburetor. It's a badass carburetor even still. It looks like ass, but pretty awesome. So yeah, just kind of wanted to capture for myself. I want to review it. I'm so happy. I don't think I covered it, but I do have 70 specific mirrors now. Like I said, it's spent a small fortune on this thing, and I just felt like I got nowhere. But the fact that it's kind of a bittersweet thing. Got the thing running today, fired, got it timed where I think it likes it for the fuel. The timing is not what I think it should be, but you just got to give it what it wants. So it's going to be pretty awesome to basically have injection, and then above that, fountain setup was where the ashtray, and there's a cover there. You're going to flip that down, and there'll be a handheld controller which will control basically everything but the timing, but that may be added as well later on. So yeah, so just kind of wanted to end the video with a happy feel and a good energy. The hood is over here, lots of changing on the trim. It doesn't fitment, you know, all the fitment issues. There's not release where it needs to be to set in. It's just a mess, you know, because a long time ago it was acceptable, but when I look at it now, obviously I'm a lot more smarter. I have a bigger vision, and this is turnkey performance, turnkey. I want to hop on the interstate, do 60, 65, and just go. Cruise, drive, seat time. I want my kid, my wife, or anyone that I trust to be able to get in this thing and go, man, this is awesome. Turnkey, pop it in gear, and drive away. And just, yeah. So that's the goal. Yeah. So I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to. And will review it to just check out the idle, because that cam is thumping. But I have a couple other cams in mind. Hydraulic roller, possibly. Yeah, so once a negative, you just turn the negative and just make it right. And hopefully I'll get that part done, but as of right now, she's alive, and have a new transmission to put in, and I have to pull it apart, put the output shaft, short output shaft in, and tail housing, and the gears whine because I farmed out and the posi doesn't hold. It's a 4 9-inch, because I farmed that stuff out, and apparently got hosed, I guess. I don't know. I just asked for your services and you didn't deliver. So, yeah. Now I'm back to doing everything myself. So, happy Saturday, and see you later.